Engler from Notre Dame, 190-pound freshman out of Dowling High School in Peru, Iowa. Gardner, a sophomore from Southeast High School in Springfield, Illinois.
Gardner came out, got the takedown right away, and then Engler came right on around into a reversal, so we now have a 2-2 match out there.
Last year, the last couple of years, Fran McCann, if he's had any problems at all of putting a consistent team on the mat, it's been with the heavier people, the 190-pounders and the heavyweights. But here is Engler with great credentials, 124, 14-1, 43-1 in his senior year at Dowling High School in Peru, Iowa. His brother James wrestled for Iowa State. And this young man, Engler, incidentally, is from the same high school as Geneser.
Nice takedown by Gardner. Gardner went right into a...
He sure did.
Into a tip. Came right out into a pinning situation. And right now, he's got Engler in a... He has him in trouble. He's going to have to pull up on this backside arm a little more.
Illinois State kids standing, telling their man, you got time, you got time. Gardner did not wrestle last year as a freshman. As a senior in high school, he was 43-0 and the state champion at 155. Coached by his father in high school was young Gardner, and he's doing extremely well right now. It is 5-2 Gardner.
You know, Gardner was coached by his father, and so was Mammon, who just wrestled earlier.
Gardner 8-6 on the year, 3-1 in the Redbird tourney. Engler captained the wrestling, football, and track teams in high school. And he captured the 1988 Junior Olympic title at 220 pounds. So here's a guy who's wrestling down, Dave, rather than up.
Yeah. You know, you were just talking about the heavier weights, and I think that many colleges have the same problem Fran does, and one of it goes to many of the high school wrestlers are very good football players that wrestle those upper weights in high school. And many of them choose not to go on to college wrestling and into college football. So I think that's one reason many colleges have a hard time filling those upper weights with good kids.
Excellent point. I know from time to time over the past few years at Notre Dame, that indeed has been the situation. You've seen young men come off the football field at the end of the season and come right down to the wrestling mat and wrestle as heavyweights or at 190 or whatever, usually the heavyweights. All right, here's the near pin. And you can see Bill Shreve right down there giving it a good hard look. Gardner almost had Engler for the pin.
Yes, he did.
Very, very close to it. Well, it's 8-3. Illinois State's Gardner over Kurt Engler of Notre Dame.
Engler almost had Gardner in a tip situation right there. Gardner come out on a... Got one escape, shot back in on a tip. Now he's going to come around behind. Engler's doing a nice job countering Gardner's offensive moves right now.
In the second period, with 1 minute and 15 seconds remaining. Gardner giving Engler all he wants. 9-3. Illinois State. These two young fellas seem to want to stay on their feet as much as possible also.
Yeah, they're acting that way right now. Gardner's tried to go back to that tip he's had there about 3 or 4 times. Engler seems to be reacting well to it now.
Here heard Gardner's coach, George Girardi, telling him, go behind him, Greg, go behind him.
Yeah. I think we're going to end up with a stalemate here shortly.
Yeah, it looks that way. There it is right now. Stalemate, says Bill Shreve.
9-3, 25 seconds.
Here's the replay of that last bit of action before
Gardner's locked up, and Engler's locked in there too. There's no way either one of them can make any progress from that position, so the official stops it and starts them back up to go again.
One match has been won tonight by Illinois State. That was E.C. Cotton over Mark Girardi in the 158. Other than that, it's been all Notre Dame. 2 periods. It is 9-3. 9-3. There's Fran McCann. Not overly happy at the moment, but doesn't seem to be overly concerned either as he blows some bubbles.
It was Engler's choice. He took down.
Explain that now, David, when you say one wrestler has the choice.
Well, at the start of the second period, one wrestler gets his choice of either taking up, taking down, or starting on his feet, or he can even defer and let the other wrestler make his choice, and then he will get the choice in the third period.
What would dictate that any particular decision in the first period? I mean, what would you be doing very well for you to choose going down or being on top?
I think it basically dictates your styles, how you are going to determine what's going on there. Many of them defer, though, so that they have the choice in the third period so that they can see what they need to do, or they go on their feet, or do they need to go down, and so that they can get 1 point escape and then go from there. So a lot of them do defer, but many of them won't give up that choice. Maybe they're very good on top turning, so they want to go ahead and try and start in that position right there.
Remains 9-3.
Gardner does have riding time now on the clock, so he has 1 point there, and he's getting near fall points right now. That's what you... Now, if he just adjusts and sinks up underneath that arm, which he didn't get the job done. And
no, just couldn't get him quite around on his back.
He just got 3 near fall. So now we have a 12-3 score.
So score-wise, this is the best performance tonight by an Illinois State wrestler in the person of Greg Gardner.
He's working hard now trying to get those extra points.
Now, we mentioned, David and I did when Mammon was wrestling, that at the start of the season, there was a battle between Mammon, and Gardner for the 177 spot. And although Mammon saw limited action, that's Mark Gardner.
That's his brother.
That's the brother, right. Mark, 2 Gardners here, and that one was all Greg Gardner.
Right.
We got him straight. Greg is the sophomore, and he wins it handsomely. And what's that read? 13-3, Dave?
Yes, it does.
13-3. Illinois State winning that one. We're going to be back for the final match of the evening in just a moment.